This machine just did something that Russia has been trying to do for over 30 years. And the moment it happened, engineers across Europe and America took notice. Not because it's a jet engine, not because it flies, but because what this machine just proved in a Krasnodar power plant could completely reshape Russia's ability to build the next generation of military and commercial aircraft. This is the GTD-110M, and if you think this is just about electricity, you are completely wrong. To understand why this matters, you have to go back to 1991. When the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia didn't just lose territory. It lost factories, it lost engineers, and it lost entire supply chains that had taken decades to build. The country that once built Sputnik and put the first human in space suddenly couldn't produce the high-capacity gas turbines it needed to keep its own power grid running. So Russia did what made sense at the time. It went shopping in the West. Siemens and General Electric became the backbone of Russia's energy infrastructure, supplying the turbines that powered cities from Moscow to Vladivostok. For a while it worked. But here's the problem nobody talked about. Every single turbine Russia bought from Siemens or GE cost hundreds of millions of dollars. And buying the machine was only the beginning. Every maintenance contract, every spare part, every repair visit required foreign engineers with foreign expertise. Russia was spending enormous sums just to keep its own lights on, and it had zero control over what happened next. It was like renting the most critical piece of your own home from a neighbor who could take it back at any moment. That moment came in 2022. When Western sanctions hit following the Ukraine conflict, Siemens and General Electric pulled out completely. No new turbines, no replacement parts, no maintenance support for the ones already running. Russia's 450-plus thermal power units, many of them already aging, were now on their own. Several plants immediately began operating below capacity. The energy grid, which serves over 146 million people, was under real pressure. This wasn't a warning sign. This was the crisis. That's when Sergei Kuznetsov and the engineering team at United Engine Corporation, a subsidiary of the state-owned Rostec, were given a mission with no margin for failure. Build a high-capacity industrial gas turbine entirely within Russia. No foreign component, no Western supply chains, no partnerships with Siemens or GE. The result had to match or beat what those companies had been building for decades. The team partnered with Power Machines, another Russian industrial giant, and began what became one of the most ambitious domestic engineering projects in the country's post-Soviet history. It did not go smoothly. In 2017, during one of the early high-stress tests, a prototype unit failed catastrophically. The explosion didn't just destroy months of work. It destroyed the assumption that this would be easy. The materials being used couldn't handle the thermal load. The aerodynamic design wasn't stable under sustained high pressure. The cooling systems protecting the internal blades were losing the fight against temperatures pushing past 1,300 degrees Celsius inside the turbine core. Every one of those failures sent the team back to the drawing board, and every return to the drawing board built knowledge that no textbook could have given them. What came out of those years of failure is the GTD-110M. It generates 110 to 115 megawatts of electrical power, enough to supply a mid-sized Russian city or a major industrial complex operating at full load. Its low-emission combustion chamber swirlers are manufactured using additive technology, meaning 3D printing at an industrial scale, a technique most Western turbine manufacturers only began adopting in the last decade. The turbine is physically smaller and lighter than comparable units from Siemens or GE, which makes it easier to transport to remote Russian regions and faster to integrate into existing power plant infrastructure. And every single component, from the first engineering sketch to the last weld on the final assembly, was designed and manufactured inside Russia. The first serial unit was commissioned at the Udarnaya thermal power plant in Krasnodar territory, described by Russian energy officials as the country's most technically advanced combined-cycle thermal power plant. Before the GTD-110M was installed, that plant was producing 454 megawatt. After installation, output jumped to 560 megawatts, a gain of over 100 megawatts, enough to cover roughly 10% of the entire region's electricity demand. Those are not projections. That is measured output from a machine that is running right now. But here is the part that is making Western defense analysts genuinely uncomfortable. The GTD-110M is not a jet engine, but the physics underneath it are almost identical to one. Compressor stages, combustion chambers, turbine blades operating at the edge of material limits, thermal barrier coatings, internal blade cooling, every one of those technologies transfers directly into the design of an aircraft engine. The hardest part of building a modern jet engine is not the design on paper. It's proving that your materials, your manufacturing, and your thermal management can survive sustained real-world operation. That is exactly what the GTD-110M just proved. This matters because of a program called the PD-35. That is Russia's next-generation high-thrust turbofan engine, designed to power wide-body aircraft including potential replacements for the Antonov An-124 Ruslin, one of the largest cargo aircraft ever built and a cornerstone of Russian heavy airlift capability. Without a domestic engine at that performance level, aircraft like the An-124 cannot be replaced, modernized, or scaled. The entire future of Russia's strategic airlift depends on whether programs like the PD-35 can be completed. And programs like the PD-35 can only be completed if the foundational engineering, the materials science, the thermal management, the production discipline, has already been proven. The GTD-110M just proved it. Now, to be direct about what this is not. This does not mean Russia has caught up with Siemens, GE, Rolls-Royce, or Pratt & Whitney. Those companies have been refining turbine technology for over 70 years, with global supply chains, billion-dollar R&D budgets, and millions of hours of operational data behind every design decision. Russia is targeting serial production of just 4 units per year for now, a fraction of what Western manufacturers ship. The gap is real and it is still large. But the gap is no longer infinite. A country that was completely dependent on foreign turbines 5 years ago has now built, tested, and commissioned a machine that produces 110 megawatts reliably under real operating conditions. The engineers who solved that problem are the same talent pool that feeds Russia's aerospace programs. The materials they developed don't stay in power plants. The knowledge doesn't stay on one team. In engineering, capability compounds. And right now, Russia's turbine capability just took its most significant step forward in a generation. Whether that step becomes a stride, that's the question nobody in the West has a comfortable answer to yet.